All right, guys, welcome back to The Mesh. Today we're going to continue on with our relationship series. Today I brought in a great guest for this series, somebody who has a lot of insight. You've seen him before. We got Clint. Welcome back, Clint.
It's good to be back.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. It's good to be here.
Just got done with several weeks of camps and all sorts of stuff. So finally getting a chance to start thinking about the next school year and get a little bit of rest before all that gets started.
Oh, yeah, that's good. It was just, Clint is a youth pastor and he's always on the move. We're working with kids. I've been to many camps with him growing up. And let's just say this man does not stop moving. He just came right back from something to come here, actually. So, and he actually scared me. I was in my car writing up the script for today, and then he just scared me. I need to work on my fight or flight reflex.
Yeah, I should have videoed it, but I didn't.
He did not. It would not have been a good day. Okay, so we have Clint on here for this relationship series to talk about marriage. Okay, so this is marriage check-in. How's it really going?
It's good. I mean, my wife and I have been married for 17 years. Mm-hmm. You get into a rhythm of marriage, and sometimes that question of how's it really going, there's a deeper side to it. Right now, our marriage is completely tied into raising our kids. Like, that's really where our marriage is right now. But in terms of between me and my wife, things are great. Like, it's as good as it's ever been.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, icebreaker. What's one thing marriage prepared you for that youth ministry did not?
This is gonna sound really funny, but how to fight.
Oh,
so get the.
Hope your wife is watching this.
I'll have to tell her. But okay, year one, we were married. We were both in seminary. We were young. I was 24. I think it was 22. Mm-hmm. And is that right? We might have been younger, 23 and 21. Anyway, we were super young when we got married. Okay. And year one was great. Almost no fighting.
No fight. Ooh, that's a long honeymoon phase.
To the point where we were almost wondering, are we doing this right? Like, why are we not fighting with each other? And then there was one day I remember we were in our apartment and she just started getting mad at me. And I'm like, babe, what is going on? Why are you so mad at me? And she was so mad because I wasn't mad. And she was like, I just need you to fight with me sometimes. And I was like, what are you talking about? But for me, I'm so like quick to compromise on everything. She's like, I need to know you care about this. I need to know what you really want. And she was like, I need to know that sometimes I'm being ridiculous. And I'd say that's the big thing. Like, just learning how to fight for what I really want and what I know is right, and being willing to step on someone's toes, because otherwise I would just constantly try to avoid conflict. And so that was probably the biggest lesson I've learned. And that's helped me in every area of life, not just marriage.
That's awesome. Okay. You've let to speak for yourself and to look at stuff in multiple directions. I like that. Okay. Sometimes a relationship teaches you how to fight. Okay. I've never thought I would hear that. I'm going to think about that more. Okay. So we're about to enter into our hot seat Q&A, married life, youth pastor energy, and hard truths. So ready?
Sure. Let's go.
When did you know your wife was the one, like, actually, for real?
So I remember, I think the first time that I said, I love you, so she had this little, she was driving this little red truck in college. Mm-hmm. And we were hanging out. We'd spent the day, probably a weekend. And we were just laying down in the bed of the truck, looking up at the sky. We were talking about all sorts of stuff. And I just remembered thinking, like, this is the girl I want to marry. And so we were, it wasn't any like romantic, like crazy thing happening. We were just talking, and that was the moment. I was like, this is the girl I want to marry. Yeah.
Okay, that's real.
We'd probably been dating probably not even a year. It was somewhere around there.
Longer than my parents.
Yeah. No, it must not have been a year.
Yeah.
But we were just hanging out, and it was just like one of those moments where I was like, this is the girl.
Okay, that's real. Little love moment, like the little. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, what's one mistake you see young people making in a relationship that just drives you nuts?
The number one mistake that I see young people making, especially when I'm talking about like my students in student ministry and college students too, is when they push everyone else away. Right?
Guilty of that too.
When they find the girl or the guy and they're hanging out, and all of a sudden that person becomes so important in their life, that everyone else gets pushed out. And sometimes it's on purpose because the girl doesn't really like the other guys or vice versa. And sometimes it's just a natural, as we grow closer to each other, to a person, we want to spend every waking moment with them. But it's such a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because the friends that you have can actually help you in your relationship way more than if you just push them away. You all of a sudden, I mean, you see it and you know it, and you've seen it. Probably everyone listening to this has experienced this. You get in a relationship,
Yeah.
you know that it's changing you.
Yeah.
You know that you're not the person, you're not acting right, like you're not acting like the person that you should, but you can't help it because you've pushed everyone out of your life that can say, hey, Wilson, you're being an idiot, and you don't listen to them anymore. And all you have is that one person. And so now your whole life becomes wrapped around that one person. And until you're married, man, that's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Because that relationship ends, and then what? Well, now your life is like a wreck. You're trying to figure out, what do I even do? You got to go back to your friends and be like, yeah, I was an idiot. I'm sorry. You got to repair all that stuff. I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah. Okay. So keep your friends closer. Actually, in my opinion, you should keep your friends closer when you're in a relationship, because they will be the first ones to tell you when something's up, when something's wrong. Because
That's right.
once you have that love glasses on, everything starts to get foggy. Well, what you think is love, and then it just gets all foggy, and then you don't know where you're at. It's just keep your friends close, keep your family close, and make sure you give the same energy to both. Okay, because you're not married just yet. Okay,
That's right.
so keep it friendly. How do you love someone through a season when you don't like them very much?
Like I said, we've been married for 17 years, my wife and I. And so there are going to be times when you just don't like that person very much, because we all have moments where we're not very likable. I know that. I know sometimes I wake up and I'm just in a bad mood, and there's nothing I can do right then to change it. But really, the way that you get past that is recognizing that love is not an emotion. Love is not, there's emotion that comes with love. And a lot of times we think that's what love is. And so we do this whole like, well, I feel in love, or I don't feel in love anymore, right? A lot of times these relationships, you'll start dating somebody and everything's great because everything feels so new. And then when those feelings wear off, all of a sudden you start questioning, like, do I really love this person? I don't feel that way anymore. Well, the problem is you're relying on emotion, and love is not primarily an emotion. It's a decision. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
And so when you know that love is that on the front end of a relationship, and you recognize that this is not just some emotion where it's just all about being happy with each other, there's more to it. It's not. Usually we spend every moment in the beginning part of a relationship, yes, getting to know each other, but really it's, how can I make this person like me more? Right? That's how you go on a date. You're like, you think about, what can I do so that this girl will like me more? What can I do so this girl will want to be around me more? And then as you date, you start running out of ideas. You start, and you can't constantly one up every emotional, romantic experience you have. That's impossible. It's exhausting. Now, that's not to say you shouldn't have romance and emotion in a marriage. Absolutely. But primarily, it's a commitment. That's the one bad thing about it.
Oh, Lord. Let's fix that.
I don't know how to get it so that it doesn't stop doing that.
Well, this one is weird. It usually doesn't do it when it's recording, but it might be dead. Yeah, it's definitely dead. Because, like, it only does that when the battery's low.
See, mine just does it. Like, I don't know if there's a setting in there.
Maybe. This one's the better one for this kind of working. This one is more active.
Is that one from a TikTok shop?
No, this one's DJI.
Oh, yeah.
I had the first one. This is the first one, and the second one was my brother. Why I gave it to him. I should have never done that. Worst mistake in my life.
I'm sure it wasn't your worst mistake.
There we go. One thing about this one, it doesn't have like an extension like the other one does.
That's almost the same height this one was. It's a little bit lower, but it's pretty close.
Pretty much. That's fine. It's not like it. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
That's good. Just raise it a little bit. All right. There we go. Okay. All right. Just pick up wherever you left off, and we can just move on to the next question.
Yeah, so in terms of loving someone through that season where you don't like them, when you sit on a commitment and you recognize that love is not just the romance and the feelings, you're able to be able to love someone through seasons where you may not like them, and you know that that comes and goes. Sometimes I don't like my sports team as much, but I'm like committed to them, right? It's kind of the same. Obviously, don't tell my wife I said that. Obviously there's a deeper level of commitment with marriage than there is with a sports team. Anyway,
Okay, that's real. Okay, what's more powerful, chemistry or commitment?
I would say it probably depends on the season, right? Like when you're talking about at the very beginning of a relationship, like chemistry is what really like gets that started.
Yeah.
But then pretty quickly, I would say that the commitment is much, much more powerful, because just like emotions, chemistry kind of comes and goes. Sometimes you feel like y'all are walking perfectly in step, and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of the chemistry of it. But then commitment is saying, even when it doesn't feel good, even when there's some hard stuff going on, we still are committed. And that commitment to me is what true love is about. Yeah.
That's real, because it's like you said earlier, it's a choice, it's a decision to wake up every day and commit to this person, because chemistry is like when you're making elephant toothpaste in your class, it goes up, it has a big reaction, and then it goes flat. And after that, you gotta make a new one. Okay. That's how it is with chemistry. It's just, you ride the explosion, and when it goes down, you gotta throw it away. Okay. But when you commit to keeping that explosion going, you keep adding fire, keep adding, coal and wood to it.
Yeah.
That's how you keep it alive. That's how it's the choices that you make to keep this flame on. So
I like that.
Hopefully that helps some of y'all out that needed to hear it like that. Cause sometimes Clint can be really wordy. Not playing. Okay. What do you wish you knew about yourself before you got married?
I would say something I wish that I knew about myself before I got married would be that not having a dad in my life impacts me way more than I knew it would in marriage and as a dad, right? The insecurity of not knowing, not having that model before me. And I have models in my life now, but before I went to look for that, I just didn't have that. Like, my dad died when I was 3. And so grew up with a single mom. And then even when I went to live with my aunt and uncle, my uncle worked midnights, like straight nights. So he was not around a whole lot. So I just didn't have that model of what it looked like to be a man in a marriage and a dad to raise a boy, like, actively. And so just struggling in my own life, wrestling with, if I made the right decisions, am I doing things well? I wish I would have known that going into it. So I would have been more intentional earlier on to find those models, those role models that I could have looked for earlier on.
Okay, that's real. Because I can relate with you when my dad passed when I was around 3 back in Haiti, my biological dad. And then it was my mom raising us for a minute, and she did the best she could. So I could see, because I didn't know a lot until I came over here. And I didn't know how it was like to have like a constant father figure in your life.
Yeah.
And even he had to learn how to grow and raise a black child like me, because it's not easy over here,
No.
It's not easy.
It's different.
Okay, fun one. Okay, what's the pettiest fight y'all have ever had? I feel like it might have been the one from earlier when you mentioned about the
I would
arguing.
say probably that's one of them, where she's like mad at me because I'm not getting mad.
Yeah.
But then afterwards I was like, wait, so my wife gave me permission to get mad at her? I'm confused. But I would say the pettiest, we haven't really gotten a fight about this, but the pettiest thing that I always bring up, if you knew Monica and I, it doesn't make any sense, but she is type A personality. Everything's got to be in the right order. And I am not. So for me, a lot of times it's just everything goes, whatever. But there's one thing that drives me absolutely crazy. And it's that she doesn't put the toothpaste cap back on the toothpaste. Like,
not everything can be type A,
But for me, like, that's the one thing. You're type A. Like, of all the things, this should be. And so there are days where, like, the tooth, it's just like globs of all around I can't use it. Like, I've gotten to where I almost want a separate tube of toothpaste just to keep
at this point.
But no, it's.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
okay.
And I know it's petty and it's silly, but that's the thing.
Monica. Put the cap back on. Okay. When a student says, I want to be married by 22, what's your advice?
First question is, what's the rush?
Yes.
What's the rush? But the second question is why? Mm-hmm. If there's, so for Monica and I, neither of us had planned to get married young. Yeah. We just didn't. We were both planning to be missionaries, but God just kind of led things one after another, and it just made sense. So I would say careful making plans ahead of time to say, this is what I know I'm going to do. I would say, instead of saying I want to be married by a certain age, I would just put that back on God and say, I want to be married young, and I'm going to seek God for that. I think that for me, it would be my pushback, just because if you have a goal of being married before you're 22, you might rush into something that you really shouldn't be in, and marriage is such a permanent decision.
Yeah.
It should be. The world doesn't always treat it that way, but it should be a permanent decision. And so take your time. Don't rush into it. Don't have a lot. I mean, and I when I do premarital counseling with couples, a big part of that is the ideas that they have about marriage before they get into it. I tell them, whoa, like try to have less expectations of what you think marriage should be before you're even in a marriage.
Yeah.
It's good to have goals, but expectations, like, you got to separate them. So I'd say just, what's the rush? But also at the other end of that is, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all. I know a lot of people would say, oh, don't ever get married young. I mean, we love the fact that we got married young.
Yeah.
We've got young kids. We're able to be active, involved in our kids' lives. If you wait to get married, then your kids are younger when you're older. And that's hard. It's hard too. So there's good and bad on both sides.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm personally planning to live a very chill life. So it doesn't matter when I have kids, because I'm gonna be chilling either way.
I can't wait till you have your first kid.
I'm not gonna be no sports dad, no hiking dad. All my kids gonna play football. Even the girls, you gonna play football. You're gonna like it for a year.
Remember what I said about expectations?
Oh, we'll see. All my kids should be benching 225 by 5 months. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Is there such a thing as the one, or is it just who you choose to love every day?
So I think there is the one, but it's because you've chosen to love them every day, right? I don't know that there's this like plan that happens way before you're ever born. I do think God, decides some things for you, and he has a plan for your life. But I also do believe that in marriage specifically, it is about choosing to love that person every single day and choosing to love no one else the same way, right? It's a choice both ways.
Yeah.
And so, but because of that choice, then absolutely they are the one. Yeah.
Okay. That's real. Okay. We're about to enter into our light game. This one is called Marriage Is. I'm going to throw out a phrase and you finish the sentence. Are you ready, Clint?
Maybe.
All right.
This is going to get me in trouble, probably.
Maybe. Lord. Okay. Marriage is like
a UFC fight.
All right, I'm sorry, brother. You said you're doing this to yourself. Because like I'm just doing the phrase.
No, I'm just kidding. That was the first thing that came to my brain. But marriage is like a dance.
Okay.
Marriage is like a dance. I think that, to me, so fun little side thing. Super high anxiety. Yeah. I have a lot of anxiety, and dancing, I don't know why, but for most of my life was a big trigger. I would get paralyzed. Like Monica in college would want to go swing dancing and all this stuff. And I wanted to go with her, and I would go, and I would literally just freeze up. Like couldn't, and I don't know what it is about it. But as we've grown in marriage, one of my gifts to her one year was dance lessons. We took dance lessons together. Now we can go to weddings and dance, and it's fine. But for whatever reason, but as I've learned to do that with her, oh man, it's like there's so much good about dancing, and especially how it applies to marriage, like working together, learning to lead, learning to follow, learning to like all the different things. And if you mess up, to just keep going with it, it's good.
It's a perfect tango. I like that. Okay, that's a great representation of that. I'm going to use that. Thank you. I'm stealing that. Okay.
Do it.
Fighting in marriage is
necessary.
Okay. That's real. Because you mentioned a lot of that, because sometimes you got to learn to fight. You got to learn to give them some, Yep. Because I'm like that too. I'm more of a very much like, recently my girlfriend just told me a really big thing, and I was just like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm still cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? She just shared something really personal, and I just kind of like blew it off, and I came back. I'm like,
Yep.
I just gave more like, I explained why I said that and elaborated more. Like I really had to come to the fact that it probably needed more than just, I don't care, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, we're chilling. I love you, we're chilling. But no, I had to put more into it, and so I do know exactly what you mean by that. Okay, next one. The way you load the dishwasher is. I feel like
a reflection of your personality.
Oh, my mama can say that. I think like she could definitely back out because she doesn't like doing nobody loads the dishwasher in the house. She always got like lately she's been very lenient about it because she just likes the fact we're putting the dishes in the dishwasher. But back in the day, she'd go back and rearrange it. Like she'd be running out, like she'd be running late for something.
So what do you think it means that what's that? How does that reflect her personality that she rearranges?
She's a type A, very much OCD. Everybody in this family has some type of OCD. Mine is OC not. I don't have that. But but everybody actually I have some type, but not as heavy as like, but
yeah,
she's very much schedule oriented, very much on time type of person.
yeah.
But I like that one. I'm gonna use that one too. Having kids while married is
The greatest adventure.
greatest thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I do want to be married and then have kids. I do want to do it that way too. Okay, praying together is
Praying together is, well, I mean, yeah, it's important, but it's more than that. It's
powerful.
yeah, you can't not do it. Praying together it's what you have to do. I mean, yeah, it's non-negotiable.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. For me, the way I look at praying together is like gluing. It's like a glue. It's like mending
Yeah.
your relationship. It's like the concrete that holds it all together. Praying together is a very powerful thing. It's like a sports team where it's just solidifying that you guys are one unit. Is the way I view it. It's the one unit under God, one unit under one team.
I mean, if you pray with someone regularly, even just like a friend or a mentor, it reveals parts of you that nothing else can.
Mm-hmm.
When it's like sharing your relationship with God with someone else, and that's it's intimate. Praying together is intimate. So I think that's yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Being married to someone with different love languages is.
I mean, it's challenging, but it's good. So my love language is primarily words of affirmation and physical touch. Monica's is primarily used to be gifts of giving gifts and quality time or acts of service. Kind of like those all three kind of blend together. And I think more for her, it's acts of service. And so, it's, you have to learn to love that person the way that they feel loved. Mm-hmm. And then you also have to be willing to accept love even whenever it's not the way that you would have given it.
Yeah, exactly. That's real. That's one thing I always had to learn because I had to talk myself out of like the love language thing because I always use it as an excuse to not do things.
Like that's not my language.
And I see other people use it. It's like, well, it's not my love language. I'm like, it's acceptance. Love is grow up. Love is adapting. So I was just like, that's one thing I had to really hammer into myself this last year. I was taking just heal. It's just love is not expectations. Love is not only exceeding them, but like also be prepared for anything that happens and like, growing. Love is growing for me.
Yeah.
And just investing. It's just taking risks. So that's one thing I had to learn. Thank God I did. Okay, we're about to wrap up here. Clint is just gonna talk to you, younger people, and to the kids. All these questions are for you guys. So, what's one thing you tell your students every year about love or dating?
It's a choice.
Yeah.
And if you choose to do it,
yeah,
then make sure that God's a part of it. But it's also there's no reason to feel like you have to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend right now. And so that I'm constantly helping people or trying to let people know it's okay to be single.
Yeah.
It's actually good to be single sometimes.
Trust me. Take that time off. Take that time off. Yeah. Okay. What's something you wish every teenage guy knew about how to treat a women?
I think I'll steal something from my buddy Alan Franz from Round Rock. He always talks about how girls we need to treat them like princesses.
Yeah.
Like every single one of them, not just a girl you're dating, but recognizing that every single one is a daughter of the king, daughter of God. And if that's the case, then they are a princess. And our job, before we're pursuing them in relationship, before we're even thinking about dating them, is to treat them like princesses, which means we honor and respect them. And yeah, we can still have fun. We can still hang out. But there's also some lines there that we shouldn't cross, that we need to be careful of. And just in terms of caring about them and defending them and showing them their worth. Because one of the biggest problems is that guys we joke around with each other all the time. And sometimes our jokes are pretty mean, but we don't take them personally. but girls do. And if we are not careful, we can dramatically affect someone's life because we've spoken something into their life that's not true, just out of trying to laugh or joke or whatever. But we've said something that hurt them so deeply. But as a guy, we don't understand that. But for a girl, it hurts them on a level that, like, so I wish guys would understand that recognize
girls learn how to be emotionally smart way faster than guys do. They grow up like it's like it will do your teenage years. You don't think as deep as they do. It's just like it starts earlier for them, and then we're still stupid at the time. So I would say my advice to you is to take a deep breath and realize everything that's happened in this relationship that you're about to get yourself into is gonna go with you for the rest of your life. It's gonna repeat in every one of your next relationships. It's gonna repeat in your relationships, your family. Like also before you get into a relationship, imagine how would you want a guy to treat your sister?
Yeah.
How would you want your dad to treat your mother? Stuff like that. So treat him that way.
Yes, that's good.
Okay, advice for anyone who grew up in a broken home and doesn't know what healthy love looks like.
First, absolutely find some people in your life that can model it for you. For me, that makes the most sense within a church.
Yeah.
If you go to church and you're a part of a church community, you can find some marriages and some families that are strong. And I can promise you, almost every good Christian family that I know of, if a young man came to me and said, "Hey, I just want to know what it's like to be a dad. I just want to know what it's like to be a good husband," I would be, yeah, come on, let's go. Like, let's walk through this together. Yeah. Let's talk through this together. And so do whatever you can now to find that model for a marriage or a husband that you want. Yep.
Okay, that's real. Okay, so to close out, we have one question after this one, but would you like to plug in any ways they can find you, talk to you?
Yeah, find me on Instagram at Youth Pastor Clint. And then if you are at all interested in learning AI and all that good stuff, I've also got at AI and the Gospel. We're doing all sorts of stuff, trying to get some podcasts launched and helping people understand what they can use it and how they can use it. And so, but at Youth Pastor Clint on Instagram is probably the best way to find me. I'm always posting on there. And so you send me a direct message. I'll reply whatever you need to talk about.
All right, you heard the man. Okay, final question, and I can let you go. If love was a fruit of the spirit, what flavor would it be?
I mean, it is a fruit of the spirit, but like, do you mean?
Yeah, it is a fruit of the spirit. Yeah.
But like,
what flavor would it be?
Like, if it's actual fruit?
Yeah. What flavor and fruit would it be?
If love was a fruit, like an actual fruit flavor, I think it would be a cherry.
A cherry?
Yeah, because cherries are like the just right amount of sweetness.
Yeah.
But they've also got that like sting at the end, that tart.
Right? That's why I think it was pineapple too.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, that's good too. That's good.
It's good. You can't get enough of it, but always has a little sting on your tongue.
Yeah.
Makes you think you're allergic to it, but you're not. But like, yeah, I know what you mean. I was thinking pineapple, so I didn't. Yeah, I get that too. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Y'all have a good one. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for watching The Mess. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Clint will be back because we will start another podcast, a talk show, and we will talk about random stuff on there. And I'm going to invite him to be on the AI one. So
let's go.
Thank you for watching. Have a great day.
See you later.